You all know that we joined in the Fresh Start initiative that allows us to clear the debt of some families who are about to be evicted from affordable housing in Alexandria. Alpha Street and extended family, it is my joy to share with you that after doing the audits and the ledgers and speaking with all the families and verifying debt, I want to let you know that with that Seek offering, you have helped stop the eviction of 338 families to the cost of $1,049,000 that was given by the church to help those in our community. I just wish somebody could give thanks to God for a Black Baptist church that gave $1 million to make certain that people did not lose their homes. To God be the glory.
Happy Saturday, Rufus.
Good morning, Craig.
Welcome to the Rufus and Craig Show. We thank you all for listening in. And what you just heard was, I would like to say, a moment in history, because I haven't, in my lifetime, seen anything done like that. That was the voice of the wonderful Reverend Howard John Wesley, the pastor of Alpha Street Baptist Church in Alexandria, Virginia. And yeah, I remember my aunt always listening to him, and my cousin, who I'm going to go see get married this coming Friday in Jamaica. That was her pastor when she lived in Alexandria and worked in DC. So yeah, coming off the heels of Easter, I thought it was befitting that we start the show with that. So definitely to redeem those that are pastors, because I think we've kind of been going in on pastors in the past. And so here we are. Rufus, how was your week? Catch us up.
It was good.
Okay, my
That's
week
it.
was very interesting. I'm just glad to be on the other side of it, and I know good things are to come. You know, sometimes I won't call them church folks, but one thing we know, it all ain't bad. It all ain't bad, and so I'm looking forward to the good to come with it. Now, one thing that was bad. Speaking of Easter, I don't know if you saw it on your timeline, but all of these crucifixion renditions, people are literally standing on crosses, but they were falling down. So I think from a satiric standpoint, I know Rufus might actually enjoy that, but yeah, I don't
Not
understand why people
really.
want to
I don't
recreate the.
enjoy it. And you
Yeah.
sent me one, and I was confused on why you sent it to me, because I was like, why he sending me this? But yeah, I don't, in fact, enjoy it.
Did you watch it though?
I watched it, and I
They
did not
kept
like it.
falling. These people were falling
And
from
it
like
wasn't,
20 and
I,
30 feet in the
I,
air.
I didn't find it funny or amusing.
Yeah, it was, what do they call them? Fails. Yeah, crucifixion fails on IG. I don't know if that, for whatever reason, that was on my timeline all Sunday. And they seem to have been, I think, somewhere in Brazil, of course, the United States, and maybe even on the continent of Africa. I don't know which African country. But yeah, just Christianity, you know, I guess showing reverence and thanks and gratitude to Jesus. But
So
that was weird to see them all
here,
fall and tumble off those crosses.
here's a question. Why did you think I might like it?
Because you're so anti-church.
I'm not anti-church. I'm just not a participant.
Okay, we'll accept that. That's his answer for today. So getting right into it, you all, it has just been a very eventful week. And I know we hadn't done a dedicated sports segment, so we're getting back to what we normally do with that. And Don Staley versus Gino Arima. Don got an
Oh, that's the
apology.
coach we were talking about the other day?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Gino did issue a apology via Instagram. I think Don kind of accepted it and moved on. But I do remember seeing that clip where they recorded it from the sideline after he kind of said what he said after they lost the game. And she was like, I will beat Gino's ass. I will beat Gino's ass. She said it 3 different times. And I thought that was very funny.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Gino is the coach of the game. I mean, he's the most winningest women coach in the what's it called, NCAA. He's the most winningest coach, right? Is
Women's
that him?
basketball coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
University of Connecticut.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think he said he did too much. I think from what yeah. So yeah, good for him for apologizing, recognizing his wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Don has also become the highest paid coach in women's basketball, making 4.2 not 4.2 point, my goodness, $4.25 million for the 25-26 season. So that puts her ahead of every other women's basketball coach in the country. And her salary bump is pretty much a part of her 5-year deal that she signed in March of last year, where she's set to pretty much get an increase of $250,000 annually through year 2030. So shout out to you, Dawn. Um, shout out to all the women out there, especially all the black women. And Dawn made sure, with her argument with Gino, that she said, hey, I'm from Philly. I grew up in the hood. So, what a story. What a
Good for
story.
her.
What a story. And speaking of that, all my Memphians, I grew up in Arkansas, and it was always a big deal to go into
Yeah, I
Memphis.
love y'all some Memphis.
We would go into
I
Memphis.
used to be like Memphis. What's over there?
Yeah, it was like going into the city. Little Rock alone was not enough. So when you go to Memphis, wow, you're really doing things. It's like the food was different. You got the Peabody Hotel over there with the ducks that do their little march in the lobby of it, but it was like really
Don't
going into the city.
and don't forget
Uh,
about Memphis in May. And I'm just like, what is Bill Street?
yeah,
What you talking
to
about?
include Memphis in May. But one person, speaking of the sports segment, I would like to say LeBron James versus all of Memphis, and we'll see what LeBron actually had to say as to why people are upset. The Memphians are upset with him.
So does the travel get worse for you, or
Yeah.
yeah, it just wears on you more?
Yeah, a random Tuesday in Milwaukee, staying at the Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that? Being in Memphis on a random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Yeah, Predators.
Like they got everything.
Doesn't look like LeBron's going to be on the Grizzlies anytime soon, so Grizzly fans out there.
Yeah, they know. Their only chance was in 2003 if they'd have won the lottery to get me there. And I might have pulled a Eli Manning and not showed up.
And so what you hear there, LeBron's on the golf course with, these white guys, and really just, this the whole city of Memphis, saying the Grizzlies, should actually move over to Nashville. Some might say, well, that's anti-black. Memphis to be a predominantly black city. But hey, I don't know, Rufus. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Okay. The first time I ever went to Memphis, I had the same thoughts as LeBron because Memphis, it was when I got there, I was like, what the fuck? Every building's run down. There's blood on the sidewalk from somebody just got their ass beat.
Mhm.
It was like a mess. So
Mm.
I don't have, and me personally, I don't have with any problems with somebody expressing their opinion. I
Mhm.
understand the people of Memphis may be upset, but he just said his perspective. So I mean, like, people are allowed to have an opinion, and you can be mad about it if you want to, but you know, it's really not that serious in my opinion. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't have anything. I don't have an issue with what LeBron said. I'm not from Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis is raggedy and ghetto, so I mean, it is what it is.
Some great talent has come out of Memphis. Shout out
Sure,
to K.
absolutely.
Michelle, Kimberly Pate, who is now on the 17th season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know she spoke to that in one of her interviews, and she wasn't too excited about that. But nonetheless, some great folks have come out of Memphis, and they deserve an NBA team. Shout out to Parker, my psychotherapist
Parker
slash
Belly.
esthetician friend. She too is from Memphis, so some great talent has come out of Memphis. I don't think I went to school with too many people from Memphis. I know a lot of them, as far as black schools, do go to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Um, I'm sure there were some, but that went to the Alabama A&M University. But no, we just say A&M, not the. We don't have to put that in front of our school.
Oh, so
But
not like Pete Jackson State.
yeah, it's okay. That's my alma mater as well. But nonetheless, yeah, not too happy with LeBron, and so there it is. Now, Tiger Woods has officially been charged with a DUI, and we know and we understand. We talked previously about him being overseas. I believe it's in Switzerland at a rehab facility. So I don't know what that means for his return. I would take it or assume that the attorneys are actually going to show up if there's a court appearance within that time frame. I don't know what his treatment plan is over in Switzerland, but he has officially been charged with that DUI.
Okay. I
So
don't
just
have anything to add.
Just an
I'm
update to that.
I'm actually tired of talking about Mr. Tiger Woods, but I mean, he probably deserved to be charged with a DWI or DUI, whatever it is.
Hmm.
So, yeah, hire a driver with your rich ass.
Yep. And the last one in the sports corner is going to be for our Love and Hip Hop Atlanta fans. And if you remember the story with Dwight Howard, I don't think we've ever covered it on here. I think we may have spoke to them, and Amy Luciana. Of course, Dwight Howard has recently filed for a divorce against this Amy person who used to be a social media influencer. I know she was big on YouTube, and made a lot of money off of YouTube. And I think when she got on Love and Hip Hop, either she was a rapper, she was dating a rapper, whatever it was, but she was on Love and Hip Hop ATL. But somehow she ended up dating Dwight Howard, and they married very quickly. I think they were together maybe 16 to 18 months. And of course, somehow Dwight Howard, is it CPA? I don't know what they call them, Child Protective Services, and the let's say Atlanta metro area, because I forgot where exactly they live. But it might be one of those edge cities outside of Atlanta. But nonetheless, the daughter, at least 14 years old, got taken, and Dwight accused Amy of colluding with the daughter's mother. And so here we are. But nonetheless, he got a protective order. So Amy has to stay her ass 100 yards away from him. And I believe it might be some family members and some friends as well. So, it seems like Dwight Howard keeps winning in these situations. I just want him to stay with Miss Kitty and not go over there and get any real snatch from Amy and tying these women up. Okay.
And who is Miss Kitty?
That was the trans person that not LeBron. Woo! Mixed it
Yeah,
up
don't get
real
our names
quick.
mixed up. But
That
Howard.
Dwight don't come for us. All we got is our shout out to Amici Builders LLC. We just have that one sponsorship, so don't come for us. We don't have any dollars to give you, but
Definitely
yeah,
don't
it
have
was
any. I'm poor.
it was Dwight Howard. Seems to just always keep winning, but he just Miss Kitty, Dwight, and I believe it was a cisgender male were in a hotel room. Miss Kitty was like a disheveled cross dresser. Not necessarily a disheveled. She had a matted wig on, some little kid.
A shake and go.
Yeah, it wasn't good. She wasn't even a looker, and somehow, they were having a sexual encounter, and I believe it was the third party cisgender male. I don't know if he was gay, straight, whatever, that sued Dwight. So whatever. It's just a lot with him. But again, just pick a side. I'll be one of those in this situation. Pick a side and just stay there. But don't, yeah.
All of that is alleged, but yeah.
Okay, no, that came in court. He did sue. That's why it came out.
Yeah,
It was in
that
court,
part obviously not. But I'm talking about the rest of it because we weren't there. But yeah, go ahead, Dwight Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's doing what he need to do.
And speaking of not having any dollars, Trick Daddy Dollars and the AKAs. I just tell you, the South, it might be the Southwest Atlantic Regional Conference. It was in Orlando, Regional Conference for the AKA.
It can't be the Southwest in Orlando, can it?
Southwest. Oh,
Southwest
Jesus.
is in the
That's
Southeast.
Texas
I don't know.
side.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Southern Regional Atlantic Conference. I think this is what it was. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. It's been a week. I tell you all that. So taking this
and
stuff
it's
from the
early
dome,
in the morning.
Yeah, taking this stuff from the dome, you all, it can really get you going. But Trick Daddy Dollars versus the AKAs. One thing that came out after the other, the director for that region, who's also running for the mayor of a city in Florida, they cut his set short, and Trick said Trick had a pre-approved track list, and supposedly they found that he was disrespectful to the AKAs. But some of the videos that I saw, Rufus, they were dancing, they were shaking their fannies,
a good motherfucking time.
they
What's
were
a fanny?
strutting. They were doing everything. They were enjoying the concert. So, but I know from other angles of that venue, you could see some of them were leaving, and probably they were leaving very slow. So it was probably our senior AKAs. They were moving out of there. They didn't enjoy the concert, but there were a lot of people, a lot of AKAs around the stage itself. So, but Trick Daddy said, don't lie on his name. And I didn't bring that audio. This is just something I just wanted to touch and go. Like Miss Kitty's wig, as you said, shake and go. We just shaking and going on Trick Daddy to move on, because that's definitely something that came up. But also Uncle Luke performed.
At the same
Yeah,
thing?
same. Correct.
Oh, wow.
Same. They were on stage strutting,
But
shouting out. So I don't know what the difference is between Trick Daddy opposed to him looking like Esther Rose that said, well, hey, we got to get you out of here. Yeah, but they got
But
Trick's ass out of there, and he says they still owe him his back end. So AKAs,
that's fucked up. And the girls are mad because they hired Trick Daddy and knowing who Trick Daddy is. We've been around Trick Daddy for a long motherfucking time, so I can't understand how you would think that Trick Daddy, the nigga that you know what I'm saying, Trick Daddy from Miami, gonna get up on the stage and do anything but what he usually does. Like what? I mean, you should have went. You should have hired what you said. I don't know. Chrisette Michelle or somebody. You should hire some soft R&B
Yolanda
or somebody because
Adams.
Trick Daddy gonna be Trick Daddy. And I mean, what can you do about it? You know what I'm saying? And y'all need to pay him his money because he did the job he was paid to do.
Yep, he said they owe him his back end. And one person we know that does not go and will not go, and she's not on our other show, is Miss Kelly Price. And I just remember seeing her going viral this past weekend because a Delta flight attendant sang happy birthday to her. I think she was on her way to sing somewhere, but I just thought it was really odd. You know, KP is going to always be KP, which she is also a PK, a preacher's kid, but she's always finds herself on the wrong side of history. But nonetheless, you know, happy belated birthday to Kelly Price.
Happy birthday, Miss Kelly. Or belated birthday.
That's it. That's it. Moving on to our economy section. I really enjoy this because this really brings the show to life every week to see the impact of the economy, the American economy. And one thing I remember, if you think back, man, probably about 5 years ago, 5, 6, or 7 years ago, these Amazon warehouses. And right now, Amazon is replacing employees in these warehouses with robots. And over time, you know, the expectation is that, hey, you know, they may have more than almost 1 million workers or employees rather in these warehouses, but the robots are going to start doing the job. So here we are. Yeah. So those of you who are working at Amazon, you might want to consider a different task, you know.
I've been telling y'all hoes to go get these motherfucking plumbing and electrician skill
That's
sets.
right.
Go, because AI
That's
can't
right.
do them jobs. A robot can't fucking fix
That's
your
right.
toilet or your wiring in your damn house. So, you know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a
That's right.
skill set, go do that. Go down. Don't go down there to University of whatever state and get a degree in fucking sociology. Even though that's great to have, it ain't gonna do nothing for you.
That's right. That's right. And speaking of that, I haven't heard this name in a very long time. Arsenio Hall released a book April 7th.
Is it a memoir?
And that I'm unsure of,
Mhm.
but he released a book.
Okay.
So Arsenio said, you know what, don't count me out. I'm going to tell my story. And I think just giving some additional commentary that I heard, I believe it may be a memoir, but he's getting his check. He is definitely
Mhm.
getting his check. And also
And
someone else, since we were on the theme of Miss Kitty, were you going to say something, Rufus?
I was just gonna say good luck to him because people don't buy books anymore. But go ahead,
You and I do. We're
Arsenio.
people.
I mean, yeah, we do, but
I,
you know, most people don't read, child. But it's cool.
I like to think our listeners would read a book here and
I
there.
would like to think that too, but the statistics say differently.
Okay, well, there we go. Cite your sources next time, Rufus.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. PhD. Had to make sure I put my correct citation in MLA format. Yeah, I'll do that next time.
APA. Nonetheless, Caitlyn
That's
Jenner,
right.
you know, even in death, people are having to pay up. So Caitlyn Jenner, speaking about those who are looking for a check, Caitlyn Jenner has come after her late friend and manager, Sophia Hutchinson, Hutchins, who passed away on an ATV accident, supposedly near Caitlyn's home out there in California. She has done a creditor's claim against this person's estate for $439,000. And one thing, if you think about it, you're saying, well, hey, well, what the hell is going on with that? How could that be? I'm just, even in death, you know, people, when you're hurting, you're hurting. And so Caitlyn said, you know what? I may have paid for these titties and chopped this off, but I need my money. And so how this was racked up, when you look at it and break it down, she had accumulated $273,000 in credit card purchases at luxury retailers. Um, they shared, $133,000 in legal fees, and there was nearly $16,000 in credit card charges, as well as $7,000 in cash advances. And Caitlyn says she wants her things, Rufus. So, you know,
I'm actually not mad at that because you know when you lend somebody some money, you expect it back. So, Caitlyn, I hope you get your money. I mean, ain't nobody got no money just to be giving away. $400,000 worth of it too. Like I would, yeah, I'm not mad at her for trying to get her money back. So I hope you succeed.
Yep. And it's my understanding that the estate did approve, and the amount will be paid in full. So,
Good.
Caitlin just came up 439K in this
That
economy.
was already hers.
And speaking of layoffs and using social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram that we always use, Meta is laying off 20% um, of its 79,000 employees. So, minimally, that's about 15,800 persons that work for Meta. And I'm sure those are some really good salaries that are going to lose their jobs. So,
Did they say why they're laying them off? I'm just curious.
the money is tight everywhere. People are not buying ads and things of that nature, so it's
Mhm.
just not there. It's just a
Mhm.
reflection of what this economy is. So,
Plumbers and
uh,
electricians.
yeah, maybe those families will find their way to HVAC school, plumbing school, or
I know what you're trying to say. It's
electrician
that Arkansas is in there right
school.
now.
They'll get there somehow. They'll get
Mm-hmm.
there. And speaking of debtors, follow the Caitlin story. Offset and his casino debt that amounted to be about $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and we hope he's healing. This past week, he was actually shot. They said somewhere near the buttocks, outside of a casino, there in Florida. But
They got shot in
nonetheless,
the ass.
he has run up the charges, and I know in a Detroit casino, I believe, has come forward to say that they're going to sue him for $1,000 credit advance that he had gotten there. So
Mm.
clearly we know that gambling, like alcoholism,
It's an
um,
addiction.
is an addiction. Absolutely, absolutely. So it's fair to say, I would think at this point, because even with this story of him getting shot at the casino, all of a sudden people start coming out saying, well, he owes me 5,000, he owes me 10,000. I think his
Mm.
soon to be ex-wife Cardi B came forward to say that he owes her a little bit over $200,000. So
Damn.
it's just a lot going on with him. And I listened to something even more recently that said he said something about talking about the economy, you all. Oh, this has really brought me to wanting to go back in the studio and make some music. No, motherfucker, your ass needs money. And so, as we've covered in all the previous episodes, what these artists do, they go back to their art and their craft to where they can make some money, get, even though streaming pays pennies compared to maybe,
Mhm.
cents and more cents in dollars as it has in previous years. But you can tour. The money is in the touring, and
And people
he's
still
trying to
like
get
him, so
back
they
out
will
there.
sue you.
Yeah. They want to see him shot up.
A
California.
thousand dollars at a casino was suing for? That seems like for at least from my perspective, looking at him being an entertainer, that seems like a minuscule amount of money. But
No, it was $100,000.
oh, you said 1,000. Okay, gotcha.
$100,000
Okay.
is what he was sued for. Absolutely, and they tried to get it off of one of his accounts or credit cards, and that was unsuccessful. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, they're
Okay.
working through that. So those of you, I don't like to wear jewelry. I've been in receipt of getting jewelry. Are you a jewelry wearer,
No,
Rufus?
I'm not. Not
Okay.
really.
Well, that means we're excused. We want to be a part of this, are held up in any way. But it seems like there has been an increase. I think it's burglaries. People are robbing. When I say burglars, now I'm switching to robbery. They're breaking into these jewelry stores in California, and they're taking the merchandise and running the hell back up out of there. There's
Hmm.
been an increase of that.
In San Francisco specifically, there's been for years now, since COVID, I would say, there's been an increase of burglaries and just not even necessarily jewelry stores, but like just regular stores, and people don't do anything. They'll come in the store and they'll steal a whole bunch of shit and just run out of there. Like it's been happening for a while now. I don't know what the deal is with California, but yeah, it's been a thing. And jewelry stores are. I would expect them to have more security, especially for like a not like a K jeweler. Not saying anything against K jewelers, but like a jewelry store where they have.
Hmm
I'm sure at every jewelry store they have like expensive jewels, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I would expect them to have better security or something like that. But even if they do have it, sometimes the security guards might be limited. So that's
Smash and grab. So I
yeah.
guess people are buying jewelry out the street in LA. So be careful
I'm gonna
when
go
you're
get
in
me
receipt of
some.
those goods. What are your thoughts about standing up on an airplane?
I don't have an issue with it. I stand up on planes. Like I'm not the person that's gonna get on the plane and just stay. Especially if it's one of those long flights. If I got it, like I have a friend who, if we travel together, if it's like even if it's like a 9-hour flight, he will not get up to go to the bathroom. I'll be like,
Mm.
what's like you got to pee, just get up and go. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. And I think on those long flights like that, especially, it's good to stand up and kind of get your blood moving again. Like staying seated for 8, 9 hours is not, unless you sleep, it's not really like a good thing. I don't think so. I don't have an issue with standing up on planes at all.
Well, Ryanair is exploring, a $9.99, well, excuse me, euro, starting at standing flights only. So your ass will be
Oh,
standing up and flying. They call it the standing class. They're looking to do
it's
that. To me it seems so amusement parky, but I just couldn't imagine standing in flight, to go wherever the hell I need to go, no
yeah.
matter the distance, no matter the time in air. But Ryanair is, looking
I'm
at, hey, how do we get these motherfuckers on these planes? How do we
I'm
pack this out? And how do we
I'm
go?
I'm familiar with what you're talking about, and it's like a standing seat. Like you're seated, but you're like standing. So it creates less room like between seats. It looks like a bunch of fucking. It looks like a cattle herd to me. Like I wouldn't want to do it, but yeah, you're right. They're trying to figure out how to pack the shit out and make more money, how to squeeze more money out of
Mm,
everybody that needs to fly Ryanair or whatever. So
yeah.
you know,
Now, I'm a budget flyer. I am a Frontier guy, and Spirit, depending on where I need to go. So I am a budget flyer, um, but I ain't standing on any of those. I'm not
yeah.
gonna do that. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
And I didn't realize you meant like standing up for the entire flight when you mentioned that. But yeah, that's different.
Yep, all good, all good. Now, have you ever gotten more money on your paycheck than you were supposed to?
I don't think so. Well, there have been times, but once I looked at the breakdown of it, I was like, okay, this is my money. But I don't think I've ever been paid like accidentally more than I was supposed to be paid.
Well, this Jonesboro, Arkansas woman named Renee Nicole Coleman is now facing a felony. She was overpaid, so her hourly pay is $16.50. However,
Hmm.
payroll paid her $1,650 per hour, and she worked a single 12-hour shift. And from that shift, her paycheck was
It's a
nineteen
big
thousand
paycheck.
four hundred dollars, and she refused to return the money. So now her ass is going to jail, and she is facing felony charges.
I wonder how they are able to charge her with theft
She
because they
refused
pay.
to return it.
That's not, at least in Texas, that's not the constitution of a theft. But anyway, I I would have kept it too. I mean, mistake or not, you paid it to me. Now, most of the time when people realize they paid you that much, they snatch it back.
Correct. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think anybody cuts checks anymore. So I think everything's direct deposit. But
Yep. Yep.
that's different to me. I would have kept it too. I mean, I hope she continues to keep it, and I hope she gets released soon.
Well, she got 19,400 reasons that she could even,
And I hope she can
pay her
bond out.
bail. A
Right. I hope she
bond,
can
yeah,
bond
she
out
get
with
out
that
of there.
shit. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I'm sure you will more than likely sleep during this time, but Artemis 2 did in fact land in the Pacific Ocean as of yesterday.
Yep. It
But
was in the late in the evening, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I believe on Wednesday, they actually I watched the live taping of them, not taping rather, but them circling the moon. And
Hmm.
I thought that was very interesting. I thought that was very interesting. Them circling the moon and getting to see that in real time. And I was at work, so I went over to Wayway's office and I was like, "You all should be watching this," because of course there was some students in there with her. And I was like, "I don't understand why y'all are not watching this. This is
So
history.
you
This
just
is
dictated. You just tried to dictate them and tell them what to do.
well, not necessarily, but
Mm.
it was just, you know, I was, hey, this is where we are. It's history. You all should be paying attention to that. You all should be paying attention to that. And last story before we get out of here, we talked about in the previous week about, is it boobification, bimbofication?
Yeah, you mentioned it. I can't
Yeah,
remember
where
what it is, but you brought it up.
Christy, we don't know you and you don't know us, but lady, you need to divorce that husband. And
Why she
so,
need the divorcing?
well, here's one of the reasons why.
You told me you loved me, didn't you?
I do love you.
Do
Yes.
you?
Mm-hmm.
So much better than your wife, aren't
Mm.
I?
You're so much better. Would you ever?
Oh, you want to be married to your god.
I mean, who would be?
I mean, exactly. So how many drinks are we on?
A lot.
A lot.
Shut up. You're so amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, you make me drink.
Oh, I don't make you do anything.
Yeah, you
Well, that's it.
Is
More and more, these sex workers have actually recorded his ass. I don't know if they were paid to release that, but I think even so, I think we're literally living, as you said before, in a live episode of Scandal. And my ass wants it to end because I didn't like that show. I grew to not like that show. I don't
is
want to
that
live in this.
is that the dominatrix woman?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. So
Hmm.
kudos to you,
Interesting.
Byron. Christy, we don't give a fuck about you, but I don't know if you're gonna save face. I mean, even stealing $140 million and sharing that with your friends is not enough with that bogus LLC. But
She stole
nonetheless,
$140 million?
yeah, we'll cover that next week. But
Oh,
it's been
wow.
real, yeah.
Where's
Criminal
she stealing
family.
from?
She was routing it through a government contract
Oh,
to an LLC. So
that
right
sounds like
before her ass got put out.
that sounds very criminal.
Yeah, her
I
ass
wonder if
still
she's been
free.
charged yet.
Her ass is still free. So
The
nonetheless,
complexion for the protection, I guess.
yeah,
Interesting.
fuck her. You all have a great week, Rufus. It's always good to see you, hear from you, and we enjoyed speaking with you all today or for you all. Bye.
Bye.